Hello, what's up? I am super, super, super excited about this new episode of Radical Soul Love. Simply because I get to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is HBCU culture. I am a proud, proud, proud alum of the Jackson State University. And I am super proud of the ways in which Jackson State University is really like coming up in the game. And that's because we have an amazing coach, football Hall of Famer, Deion Sanders. And let me rephrase that. Dion Prime Time, aka Coach Prime Sanders. And he has been a tremendous blessing to the program there at Jackson State University. And he's making a mark, he's making a name for himself in HBCU culture. Um, our games are now officially, televised on ESPN. Countless numbers of celebrities have been down there to see the program, and it's really getting a lot of media spotlight and attention. However, over the weekend, there was some negative media attention simply because of an incident that happened at Alabama State University. So we all know, if you've been following my channel, this channel centers around just talking about everyday life, especially when it comes to self-love, self-awareness. There's going to be messages in a lot of my podcasts, and the theme of this podcast today centers around the crabs in a barrel mentality and how we sometimes are jealous and envious of others. And that is just not uh the and when I say us, I mean specifically my skin folk. That's who I'm referring to. um we have to be careful of the ways in which we engage each other and relate to each other, especially in the media. And so, as you may know, over the weekend, there was a situation around a little tussle that Deion Sanders got into it with Coach Eddie Robinson from Alabama State University. And there was accusations being flown around about um, the coach at Alabama State University feeling as if Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, was showboating or, talking, trash talking. But we all know that if you've been following Deion's career for many decades now, you know that he is an entertainer. He's not just a football player, but he's a motivational speaker. He's just extra. That's just who he is. And we love his extraness, to be honest with you, at Jackson State University. I'm gonna always say we because I'm an alum and I'm just very proud of where we're at. So I'm gonna always say we. So I want to kind of get into it right now to show you, just so you can see exactly what happened, what went down over the weekend between Coach Eddie Robinson from Alabama State University and Coach Prime at Jackson State University. So let's get into it. All right, Coach. All right. So you all just noticed that there was a little tussle between the coach at Alabama State University and Coach Dion, Coach Prime, that we love to call him. And the rumor mill is that the the coach at Alabama State University felt disrespected. And overall, I'm feeling as if there was some bad blood there, boiling up to it up until that point, and it had to simply center around um, the fact that there was some jealousy there. I'm just going to call it what it is. They got whooped on their own turf. Alabama State University got beaten at their own homecoming. That's an embarrassment to the not only the coach but to the players. But even before that, Coach Deion Sanders showed exactly how rude the players were to him. As he walked around the football field, they were booing and cursing. Um, and then at the end of the game, when Jackson State wind up winning the game, there was that was a scuffle basically. Um, and to be honest with you, I felt that Coach Eddie Robinson was nothing more than a sore loser. He did not know how to take that L with grace. And it was really a bad look for a disgrace to HBCU culture. Later on, Coach Robinson gets in on a press conference, and he basically tried to say that, oh, I love JSU. I love what Dion is doing for Jackson State University. I like the fact that his son is doing this, and that. But then he went on to say, but Deion Sanders is not swag. Deion Sanders is not a reflection of swag. And that to me was a slap in the face to someone who has already been doing mighty work with not only turning around that football program at Jackson State University, but bringing the spotlight to HBCUs. And so I felt as if he really just engaged in a behavior that showed poor sportsmanship, if you know what I mean. Poor sportsmanship. So it wasn't just poor sportsmanship, but it was also a tinge of envy and jealousy and everything that you felt the tension. Like he had such a disdain and he wanted to take that moment as his moment to disrespect Dion publicly. And I'm very proud of how Dion responded to his disrespect. So let's get into that. Let's see how Dion responded. Coach Prime responded.
Coach, considering the static that did happen after this game today, is this further motivation for you and your team?
I don't need nobody to motivate me, dog. My mama working 2 jobs to make ends see each other was my motivation. You know, me being a great father, when one of my fathers was a drug addiction, a drug addict, and my other father was an alcoholic, that was my motivation. Seeing no one really come out of Fort Myers, Florida, that was my motivation. This? Oh, baby, you gotta get in line. I wake up motivated. I wake up trying to bless somebody, inspire somebody, encourage somebody, help somebody, motivate somebody, get somebody to the next level. Yeah. And somebody had the audacity to sit up here and say what I ain't. Well, baby, I know what I am. And I am a whole lot of things that a lot of folks would like to be. Oh, Brian, bring it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I absolutely positively love that clip simply because he teaches us how to respond in a way that not only shows that he's unbothered, but it also shows that he is not about to let small things ruin what he is trying to build there at Jackson State University. He's done some amazing work there, and just amazing work and to bring attention to HBCU football and HBCU culture, which has been severely marginalized within the football realm. And so for Dion to be disrespected at the level that in the manner, not the level, but in the manner that he was disrespected by the coach at ASU, it's like, how dare you tell me what I am and what I'm not? How dare you act as if you're going to be the gatekeeper to HBCU culture? And that to me is an issue. There's a level of gatekeeping within the HBCU culture that will be detrimental to progress and growth within HBCU culture if we don't begin to expand our horizons and stop trying to shut certain folks out of the culture, and specifically those who may have went to a PWI, or those who uh may not have had the HBCU culture experience. But what we can do is, if they want to volunteer their time, if they want to figure out ways in which they can make our programs better, who are we to say who's allowed to come in and better our boys and better our girls there at the young women and the young men at our local colleges. And so I felt that it was highly inappropriate for Eddie Robinson to speak for the SWAC conference, period. I felt it was highly inappropriate for Eddie Robinson to speak for those of us who graduated from HBCUs. I felt it was highly inappropriate for Eddie Robinson to use his platform at that time at his conference, at his press conference, to continue to further this culture of gatekeeping that exists within HBCU culture. And my philosophy is if there's someone who, especially who's of our hue, who's black, and really wants to come in and build up our young men and young women, who are we to gatekeep that? Who are we to say, just because they had a different college experience, that they are not allowed to partake in the festivities of and the culture? Who are we to gatekeep? And so I felt it was highly inappropriate for, and not only that, it was a disgrace to HBCU culture. He acted like, I'm not going to say it because I was going to use another word, but I'm not about to do that. I'm going to be good in this podcast. But he acted in a manner that was unprofessional and not sportsmanlike at all. And for me, the behavior of not only the coach but of the team shows that there's some poor leadership there. Some very poor leadership there for that team to not only curse at Deion Sanders and also engage in bullying, basically, of this coach and this team, shows me that there's some poor leadership that exists right there at Alabama State University. To be honest with you, I think those who are in power need to kind of do some investigation. There needs to be some corrective action, to be honest with you, because it was a very bad it was bad PR. Now, it was Alabama State University. he Y'all basically took an L because your coach you basically took an L. And so overall, I think that there are some couple of lessons here, because um one of the things that was brought to light was the fact that um Alabama State University sought after Jackson State University, and they wanted to play Jackson State University for their homecoming. Now, if he was really doing let's before we even go there, I'll say this. Two things come with booking Jackson State University, especially as Deion as the head coach of Jackson State University's football team. One, you're going to get a lot of publicity. You're going to get the spotlight. Two, you're going to sell out some tickets. So technically, it was a benefit to Alabama State University. So for that coach to think and not really even do the stats like he should have been before he even booked Jackson State University. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. They basically blew them out at their own homecoming game. And so for them, for not only the coach but the team and whoever else is a part of that whole package, to think for a second that they were going to win that game, you were highly mistaken. Highly mistaken. So if you took that big of a risk and a big of a gamble simply because you were trying to capitalize, you're trying to maximize your ticket sales, you're trying to maximize your publicity, you benefited. they basically benefited from that entire situation. They benefited from that entire setup. So for me, I felt like not only was it disrespectful for them to be in a situation where or put themselves in a situation where this was going to be a negative reflection of HBCU culture. Because, even amongst ourselves, black folks, we're like, man, we don't never know how to act when we get somewhere. That's how I felt watching that moment. It's like, we can't just be good for 2 seconds. Even in the situation where there's supposed to be camaraderie, sportsmanship, of course there's going to be competition, but you are, as the coach, are supposed to show a different side. You're supposed to keep you're supposed to be calm, cool, and collected. But he was a detriment that day to overall to the whole culture of HBCU culture. That's not who we are. That's not what we're about. HBCU culture is fun. It's about academics. It's about professionalism. It's about training up our next leaders of young black folks, black men and black women, to be the next professionals in this world. And when those of us who are a little more seasoned and have been out in the professional world to act a certain way, you know, when we're out in the professional world, it winds up being a negative reflection on us all, unfortunately. And so again, I felt like it was a situation where um they wanted the benefits of having Jackson State University at the table. But when Jackson State University was at the table, and they on top of that they wind up getting beat in front of thousands of people, he walked that coach at ASU at Alabama State University walked away with egg on his face. So he was embarrassed, and he didn't know how to take his embarrassment like a man, like a man, like an adult. I'm not even gonna say like a man. I'm gonna say like an adult. He didn't know how to do that. Um, Again, for me, I think that the way that Dion handled it, to be honest with you, I wish I could be that. No, let me go back. Actually, I can be a certain level of petty, but I strive to be that type of level of petty that that Deion Sanders displayed over the last couple of days. Not only did he give us a motivational speech behind after everything that happened, but he also just made it a fun moment. So there were plenty of fun clips that came out afterwards where Dion was just really, really, really clowning. So I kind of want you all to kind of see what's been what's been cooking at Jackson State University. Check this clip out.
Who is swag? Who is swag? Who is swag?
I wake up motivated. 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 I wake up trying to bless somebody, inspire somebody, encourage somebody, help somebody to the next level. I got time. I got time.
I love my people, man. I really, really, really love us. We know how to turn. We really know how to turn a bad situation into a funny moment. Actually, we tend to show. We tend to turn trials and tribulations into a triumphant moment. it's good that they were able to laugh it off and to have fun and to dance afterwards. But it's so much. I'm sorry. That was a level of petty that I surely admire because he not only did he come the next day um with a shirt to say who is swag on the front, on the back it said I am swag. I mean, what level of confidence, what level of being unbothered, a level of pettiness as a response to someone else's degree of pettiness, you know. It was just a joy see them laughing and dancing and making fun at the entire situation. That's black culture overall. We know that. We know how to turn rain into sunshine. We know how to turn trials into triumph. We are just a resilient group of folks, a resilient people. And so for Dion to have that moment at the end a couple of days ago where he's able to laugh it off and have fun with his players, that just really, really it made my day. There's other clips of Dion, just making fun of the entire situation, but it was just good to see that they know how to have fun even afterwards. The lesson that I hope that Eddie Robinson learns is that he needs to learn how to be a good sport. He needs to know how to clap for others. He needs to know that another person's win is not a slight to him. Let me repeat that. Another person's win is not a slight to him. Actually, what Dion is doing is going to be a benefit to many coaches. What Dion is doing is going to be a benefit to many players at these HBCUs. What he is doing is going to bring a spotlight into programs that were historically marginalized in the football arena. So I hope that he learns his lesson. I hope that he becomes a better example for those young men that are playing on that team. And I just really hope that he learns how to um, take his L with grace. Take your L with grace. There's class in knowing how to take your. A person that knows how to take their L with grace has a level of sophistication and class that, to be honest with you, is not taught. It's ingrained in you. And I like how I really like how Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is moving. I'm motivated by him. So this was just a wonderful way as far as to end this whole situation, to close it out this week. He's going to let this stuff roll off his back, and he's going to be looking forward to the next win. I hope that his son, Shador Sanders, gets the Heisman Trophy. I'm rooting for that. He's a beast on the field. So, looking forward to see exactly how this program continues uh, to grow and just be able to really make its mark in not only the HBCU football arena, but in just internationally and nationally. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how Coach Prime is going to really uplift and make this program better. I'm just so excited. Like, I'm tongue tied right now because I'm just so excited. I'm usually more excited about the band. If you know about HBCU culture, half the time we're more excited about the band than we are the football team. I'm just being honest with you. Now it feels really good to not only look forward to halftime and the band, but you now can look forward to watching the football players. That's mind boggling to me. That's super dope. That's super dope. So as we close out, I just want to tell you all, um, continue to watch out for the HBCU football teams nationally across the nation. Continue to promote HBCU colleges. If you know, if especially my black folks, I am the type that grew up on TV shows like A Different World. So I pledge a sorority. I am ingrained in black HBCU culture. And so I would encourage other black folks to, hey, take your children on a college tour, a black college tour. Take your children and tell them about black colleges and how they started and why they even exist to this day. Black colleges have a wealth of opportunity, and it was a place where I felt nurtured. I felt seen. I felt heard. I After college, I attended PWIs, and there's a difference. There's a major difference. I am very thankful for my HBCU experience. I'm very thankful for um, just the ways in which that experience made me into the woman I am today. So I promise you, if you just take the time out to show your children and teach your children about HBCU culture, you'll be surprised at what direction they may go in when it's time to for them to pick a college, and how it will impact them. You will be surprised how that particular experience will allow them to be a well-rounded adult. There used to be a big stigma before that said, you know, uh, if you went to HBCU, that'll make you sheltered. That will, you won't have a well-rounded experience. Lies, lies, all lies. At the end of the day, my HBCU experience was what I needed in order for me to be the woman that I am today, to be honest with you. I needed to start off in an institution that is going to nurture this unapologetically black woman that I am. Uh, so I encourage you all to also send your children there, promote it, and possibly, if they choose to, send your children there. That is my time. I want you all to continue to support the channel. Follow me on TikTok at Radical Soul Love, Instagram at Radical Soul Love, and also like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts on today's topic. Tell me about what you think about this whole situation between Deion Sanders and Coach Eddie Robinson. Let me rephrase that: Coach Deion Prime Coach Deion, Primetime Sanders. I like giving people their flowers. And Coach Eddie Robinson, I guess. Tell me exactly what your thoughts are around that. All right. Next time. Peace.